Hi guys, we're in Ulceby today. It's a project that's been going on for about a year. We're with the developer and homeowner and soon to be tenant of this lovely property. It's a GSE in-roof system, slightly different to a standard install. We're with the customer Darren. So how have you found working with SolarTechs?
Working with you guys has been spot on. Time when I first looked into solar and the batteries and the diverters and all that, it was really busy. The market was busy. It was difficult to find anyone to work with me. I managed to get in touch with yourself, spend quite a few hours at the office working through the system, discussing what the needs were for the new build. It was very beneficial. You've got a lot of knowledge with the electrical background. It was great.
Typically, we do our design service remotely, but occasionally we do invite customers to come down. Customers are very welcome to sit with the design team, get it on the screen. And I think the nature of this being a new build, that's what was required for this, because you had to get it right at the design stage. And a lot of the other technologies benefit from solar. So just tell us about a couple of the other technologies you've got on the property.
Well, with your knowledge and network, we looked at air source heat pump system and also the infrared IHelios system, which I hadn't heard of up until that point. After doing some research into both and getting some quotes, etc., we decided to go with the IHelios Infrared system, which is all up and running now, and hopefully it's going to prove to be the right decision in the future.
Yes, I recall we facilitated a meeting because we are an approved installer of the Grant air source heat pumps, and we also facilitated a meeting with IHelios at their HQ because they had a working system there. And the reason you went with IHelios was because you felt it was a better solution for the first floor, is that correct?
Yeah, it obviously eliminates the need for radiators. There's other benefits, including the fact that it was a quicker install and less maintenance in the future. And costings wise, it was pretty similar. But that was the main reasons we went with that system.
Okay, so regarding the PV itself, you were considering an on-roof system as against an in-roof system, and we made it clear that you will lose a little bit of efficiency with the in-roof system, so we went through all of that at design stage. So is it fair to say you chose a little bit of style over substance with this design?
Yeah, I liked the look of the in-roof system. I think it looks a lot neater. You haven't got to look at the bird protection issues and all that. And obviously you advised me about the slight decrease in performance due to them being built into the roof. But when you cost it out against what it was going to cost me to tile the roof and then put the system on top of the roof, it was a no-brainer for me to save on the tiles and have it an inbuilt roof system that looks a lot neater.
Yeah, I think it looks really good, and as well as making it clear that you will lose a little bit of efficiency, we also worked closely with your roofing team because obviously it was a new roof. So there was a little bit of hand-holding on both sides there, which is fair to say. And then also we advised you halfway through the project of a brand new technology that came out, and we offered you the opportunity to change it because it is a fast-moving industry. Around about February time, having gone to a trade event, the supplier had launched a new product, so we gave you the option to effectively upgrade, but you was happy at that stage with everything. You spent a lot of time looking at it and you didn't want to change, but did you feel that it was beneficial just to have that opportunity?
Yeah, it was great to have the opportunity. Obviously, your knowledge base and the fact that you'd been to the show and seen this and talked to the guys who actually manufacture it was a good idea. The main factor in deciding against it and sticking with the original plan was it was so far down the road and it was going to cost a little bit extra on the electrical wiring side, that I decided just to stick with the system that we'd already designed, which I'm sure will be fine anyway.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with the design. It's a really good design. It's just obviously our job is to keep at the forefront of the cutting edge technology, which is what we did here. So in terms of your design, you asked us to try and build in a little bit of future proofing. So we're stood below the garage and that's south facing, whereas we've gone on the west elevation. So we've actually wired this. We've freed up one of the MPPTs so you can actually add to this roof in the future, but you're really looking to get some data and see how well it performs because it is a very efficient house. We have factored in the future proofing, so that's got to give you a little bit of peace of mind, I assume.
Exactly. Obviously, we'll have to see how the system performs. We're not fully moved in and we're not living here officially yet. A date in the future, if we decide we need more capability, we've already designed it in.
Yeah, and from our point of view, although at the time of Darren coming to us, it was a very tricky market. It was really difficult to get a hold of the components this time last year, and I know Darren was struggling to get somebody to commit to such a long project, but what really excited us about this was the opportunity to look at the other technologies. You've gone with the Mixergy tank, the IHelios, and the GSE in-roof system. So we've got to work with some different technologies. Do you think we've been fair? We held the price for over a year. We didn't come at you with any more changes. We just tried signing with your diary. Would you say that was quite flexible in that approach as a company?
Definitely. Can't fault you in your approach and your attitudes. You always get back to me, let me know what's going on. You've advised me of the new technologies. So yeah, I've got no complaints at all.
And one thing that we didn't actually offer at the time, but we do now, which would have been interesting, I think. I recall at times when you was doing the development and you felt like you should maybe have some panels on the east side as opposed to the west side. Yeah. A service that we now offer that would have benefited you and put your mind at rest a little bit more. You were just going off my experience in solar, which I've been in the game since 2011. But what we now do is we would have showed you some equivalent systems with just the west facing against the east-west, and we actually show live data now. So if you want it east and west, we can do that, but here's other working systems with the live data, and this is the difference, and it's typically 25% more by putting on the west. So that's a service that at the time we didn't offer, but actually, had it been today, we'd literally show you that. So do you think you'd have benefited from that service?
Well, if my memory serves me correct, you didn't actually show me it, but you did have a look at some other systems in this area that did have the west and east facing panels, and you did advise me that it looked like the west facing ones were slightly outperforming the split setup anyway.
That is exactly the case. It's actually the next postcode down in Ulceby. We've got one on the same street, a fully west, with exactly the same number of panels, 6 on the east and 6 on the west. So the data is as accurate as you could get in terms of a comparison, but we actually demonstrate that data now.
If you found this video helpful, make sure to show your support by giving it a thumbs up and hitting that like button right below. Your likes help us reach more people and spread the word about sustainable energy solutions. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, family and anyone else who might be interested in the amazing possibilities of solar technology. For more exciting content on solar PV and the latest innovations in this field, make sure to subscribe to our channel.